Well, there's been a fairly tremendous outpouring of support and empathy and what can we do in this from the American public. And since I work with the social web and social media tools and communities, I'm seeing that show up on sites like Twitter and on Facebook. So it's just a constant several hundred tweets a minute sort of volume there for about the first week. I haven't seen that, and I think the reason is that I can't see Japanese characters on my computer screen. So there's a significant language barrier that I don't have the tools to overcome. But even during Haiti, just as an example, we did get a lot of family members who were writing to us in English saying my family member is stuck or needs help in some way. And I haven't seen that nearly as much, and I don't know if that's a cultural difference or if Japan is just really far away from the United States, but we have not seen that as much. It's been mostly, how can people from the United States saying, how can we help? So we've had basically the same strategy in place for disasters and not disasters, but we've had a good amount of practice over the course of having a social media presence, which has been happening for about 4 years. And basically what we do, listening is the cornerstone of everything that we do. On a non-disaster day, we're mentioned about 1,500 times every single day, and we read all of those. And so obviously when a disaster has happened, that number goes up exponentially. And that's the time when the public is truly hungry for our information and our facts. And so we're very liberal with the amount of information that we're giving. We try to give the public every piece of information that we have as soon as we have it on Facebook and on Twitter and on our newsroom. And we try to create videos much like this one. We stick someone in front of a camera and just explain what's going on, what we're doing, and we try to do those updates as frequently as we possibly can. And just because that's the moment when people are so hungry for information, we just do our best to give it to them. And then in times when there's not a major disaster and maybe people aren't so hungry for that information, we try to spend more time sort of reflecting back to them and paying attention to the everyday stakeholders and loyal Red Crossers that we have out there and let them tell their stories. There's two of us who have the words social media in our titles at the at headquarters, and that sounds like not very much, but for such a huge organization. But our philosophy is to allow every single person who works at the Red Cross or volunteers there to be a spokesperson for the organization. And so we do a lot of internal training, teaching them how to use tools like this if they're interested in becoming their own subject matter expert online. So everybody's empowered to talk, but we're the ones sort of watching everybody, I guess. I think the strategy is just making sure you're listening to your audience. And I'll tell you a brief story about this particular situation. International disasters are quite different from domestic disasters. And when an international incident happens, we have to wait for the National Red Cross Society in that country to say, this is probably going to overwhelm us and we'll need extra assistance. And because I think of the success and cultural proliferation of the text program after Haiti, the public just started texting even though we hadn't said we were accepting funds yet. So obviously, and it was trending on Twitter for several hours before we had even had a chance to speak with the Japanese Red Cross. So we were able to go back and make a designation. We said, you know, from this date until the foreseeable future, everyone who texts Red Cross to 90999, that money will go to the Japan earthquake and Pacific tsunami designation. And so it's been a little bit different. The public has always been faster than we are and than most organizations possibly could be. So it's just a matter of being able to turn on a dime and listening to what they want to have happen, so long as that is in the same sphere in the Venn diagram of what you need to get done. practice makes perfect. I mean, practice every single day, and we wouldn't have been able to have any success in building trust or having anyone want to even listen to us there had we not been there for years, just, you know, sort of in the mix every single day, hopefully providing value, hopefully listening and being responsive. So I think training is a huge thing, the internal training piece. We do a lot of that and make sure that everybody knows exactly how to become a subject matter expert and tweet on their own, and that they have a permission slip to participate. Really, that's the biggest thing. And you know, and I guess it's the exact same for your stakeholders. So both your employees, volunteers, and all the stakeholders need to have that permission slip to enter the conversation and to become a part of the movement trying to accomplish something.